Growing up in the foster care system, it's a challenging thing that a lot of people will never understand until they physically and emotionally go through it. Every 6 months, I walked in through those court doors. I saw the judge. From the moment I was 5 years old till the day my case closed at 21 years old, CLC was a part of my life. I was at CLC and I had an attorney that represented me. And because of that, when I found out there was a program to work for, I said, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna work hand by hand with an attorney and a client.
Our attorneys traditionally are in court every day from 8:30 to 4:30. That's kind of where our case managers, our peer advocates, case managers that work with our transition age youth, case managers that work with our parenting youth, all of our specialty programs, that's where it really supports the legal work that Children's Law Center does. It really requires a lot more work outside of the court, on the ground, getting to know our youth's lives, figuring out what supports that they need, and the case managers really come in to help connect our youth to those services.
The experience I had with abandonment, I feel like it goes into the work that I do. As a child, having to deal with neglect and seeing my father in jail and getting letters from him in prison, having to deal through that very young, it sometimes takes away that hope from you. The transition to aging out of foster care at age 18, it was very difficult for me. I didn't really have support, especially when it came to learning how to be an adult. And then once we were hearing about this extended foster care, then that's when I was like, I want to do it. The hard thing about extended foster care and what people don't tell you if you don't have the support is there's requirements you have to do to stay in extended foster care. I was like, I'll do it. I'll do whatever it takes. I want extra support. I'm only 18. I don't know how to do any of this. I had to, locate an apartment. I had to show I was going to school. I literally didn't have an income. I was out of foster care. I was literally like living in the streets. So I just had to keep fighting and I had to figure it out. I had to go to shelters, I had to go to food banks. I think the hardest part was reminding myself that eventually I would see the progress in myself, just had to come with a little more struggle. Once I saw that there was an opportunity at CLC to advocate for young adults, I went with it and I told myself, wow, there's a peer advocate program, there's a case management program. I'm able to teach these young adults life skills. I'm able to advocate for them in court. I'm able to talk to their attorney and case consult on what I feel is the best option for my client. This is like a great opportunity. This is something I never had. This is something I wish I could do. How can I apply?
I met Yesenia a few years ago in college. Once a position was opened up here for a peer advocate, I encouraged her to apply and I helped her with her resume and her cover letter and we practiced for her interview.
And when I got the job, I was so happy. Like I was stoked for it because it's like, wow, like I'm actually able to give back. As I continued being a peer advocate, I worked my way to becoming a case manager. The kind of things that I do with my clients, I take them to the DMV so they can get an ID. I take them to the DPSS office in case they're in need of a food stamp card because they don't have any food. I take them to a community college or a university so that they can enroll into school or get any scholarship information or learn how to apply for financial aid, or they're trying to find a job. And one cool thing about CLC is that we have a boutique store that I can take them to so they can get interview clothes. I also take them to like the supermarket so they can learn how to do grocery shopping, so when they do live on their own, they know how to budget these things. I even can go with them to their doctor's appointment. I'm working for them and making sure that they become successful or find their way or their journey to become successful.
She really puts the youth first and she likes to make them feel important. She's really changed their lives for the better, and she makes sure that her team doesn't give up on the youth. Even when it feels like it's about time to, she'll keep fighting.
I was attending a transitional housing program interview with Yesenia and one of her former clients. Youth had a history of substance abuse. She had already lost one child to the system. And so I think the question Yesenia had for us was, what can I do to try to prevent this new baby from being removed from her custody as well? There wasn't a lot of hope, I think, as professionals that we saw. Boy, were we wrong. And I tell this to Yesenia, I think it's because of her experience and her own personal struggles of figuring out how to find her own stability from foster care to an adult now, Yesenia did not give up on this youth. Actually, she has her baby in her custody. There was no paperwork ever filed. Baby was never detained. She's in permanent housing. She's clean. Yesenia brings a different kind of hope to her cases that really helps her stay in there with the youth and sometimes give them motivation that they didn't even know that they had.
So working with me continuing to show up with them daily and calling them and looking for them and not leaving is teaching them that I'm not going anywhere, I'm not going to leave them, I'm here to support them. And that's also teaching them relationship building and teaching them to trust and distinguish what a healthy relationship looks like.
Seeing her find like her passion and seeing how much respect she has for these youth, I'm really proud of her.
This work feels healing to me. When I teach my clients what I've done to help myself in the transition of wanting to feel loved, it also shows them that they do deserve love, and it shows them that they are worthy of love.